Hi, 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 hi. Hello, Julia. I see your message. I'll be monitoring the room as good at 11 a.m. because you have to multitask with work. I understand that. I understand that completely. You did such a good job last night. I don't even know what messages got muted or removed. I don't care. I mean, I do. I care that you did that for us. It's greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. But I'm here. We're here. Brand new day. Brand new topic. Sort of brand new topic. Um, God, there's a lot going on astrologically. Not so much today, but in the next few days. Whoopsie, dipsy. Got the Llewellyn witches calendar because, you should always give credit where credit is due. It's a Virgo thing, hopefully, for everyone too. Moon went void, of course, 6:30 a.m., 11:39 a.m. Eastern. We're not even there yet. The moon will go in Aquarius, so let's see if there's a shift around about 40 plus minutes from now, 39, 40 around there. Cool, cool. How is everybody today? I hope you are all well. I am a little sleepy. We're going to talk about discipline versus obedience today in tandem with this Saturn retrograde and a couple of other retrogrades coming down the pike, which we can talk about as well. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, sweetheart. I loved that video that you did, by the way. I don't know if I commented on it because when you work on the internet and social media and everything, it just all blends together at some point. But I really did enjoy it, and I remember you used "Misbehavin'" as your background music, which I love that song. I like the slower version. Ain't misbehaving. I'm saving my love for you. Believe me, baby. Isn't that just not an obedient song? The silly blooper one. Yes. Yeah. We're gonna be talking about the sleepiness too. That's just part of the Saturn retrograde thing, I'm sure. Good morning, my Mari. Yes, I also that's how it felt appropriate. Yeah. It was the first time I heard it. I mean, a very long time ago. I forget who sang it, but it was one that kept popping up in auditions at the Boston Conservatory. I had heard the song before then, but that's when I really learned it, because when you sit through somebody singing the same audition song over and over and over again, you get to know it. Was that my friend Anne who sang it? Well, please, I have to think back to the 80s. Let's not reactivate that part of the brain. Let it sleep. let the memories of the 80s just sleep. Oh dear. So let's enjoy our schmooze time together. We have 10 minutes until it's 11:11. We can all make our wish. I've been wishing the same thing over and over since we started doing this. I only have 2 videos to make today, a recording. I mean, I'm going to finally get that Aquarius and Pisces readings done for the twin flame reads. Oh, I'm so over the twin flame reads. They were really rough this time. I even did them shorter. I was hoping with less cards they wouldn't be as tricky, troublesome, and traumatic, but that's a twin flame for you, right? So gonna take a nice little nap between now and then. Thank you, Mari. Thank you for the super chat. La 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 la. That's just stunning. Maybe I'll come up with like different stunts that I can do for different levels of super chat, but really at that point it's super chat prostitution and I'm not into it. Oh, there's another. Oh. I think that deserves a Jurassic Park drag fan. Dragtastic Park. I wish I could do it right there. My cats are terrified of these drag fans. They were just fighting upstairs, and all I had to do was stand in the stairwell and thwart, and they're my new magic wands. They're simultaneously element of air and element of fire. Anyway, let's see. My college experience, including hearing countless guys singing Newsy songs. I never saw it. I don't know the musical. Why? Because I suffer from musical theater PTSD. Although I have to say, that Fosse Verdon thing on FX. So I cried like every episode. I would call my mom. She's like, "Honey, pull it together." Yes, yes, make it work. Dear, 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 dear God. Dear God, got us all that is help. Send honey. Oh, manna from heaven and all of that. Oh, because it's raining men. Hallelujah. On my Facebook feed, apparently it's raining men. I'm still getting... yes, the men are still friend requesting me left, right, and center. Not so much getting the inappropriate whatever Facebook messages. I think somehow they got the clue, or they are doing their research. I think there's been a learning curve since we've all been locked down, that if you are going to Facebook friend somebody, that you read the profile. Like, I never add a friend unless it's somebody I know, right? Like unless it's somebody that I know, I'm like, oh my God, there you are. Then I'll friend request them, but I never do. It's like, let them come to me. Just saying. Mal, you should know that the meditations are helping me so much. Well, thank you. Good, good, good. You know, it's always a risk putting out content. And I mean, I'm literally 15 pounds heavier in those. I filmed most of them in 2016, 2017. Yeah, because I moved here in 2017. So 2017 was when the Silver Broom shut down. 2018? Yeah, 2018 it did. So I no longer had the recording space there. That's when I started working on the books and then being a YouTuber last year. Yeah, 2019. Yeah, that pretty much tracks time-wise. Morning all. Good morning, Grace. So yeah, you know, moving my life, going through a series of dark nights of the soul. Honey, that was a dark year of the soul. Oddly enough, I'm not in a dark night of the soul. This year, last year was a little rough, letting go of Farm Boy, who still shows up in the tarot as coming back. I'm like, really? Really? Like, not the stuff I record, the stuff that I do. Because that child in my heart is still like, "Rah." I'm like, I miss him too, honey. All right. I pull some cards and I really pray to my gods. I'm like, will you tell this kid it's not going to happen? And it's like, all right, show me our relationship. The Empress, the marriage card. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Maybe it's some other guy who was a boy on a farm. I don't know. I don't know. Chalk it up. Chalk it up. Move it on. So I've added a new tradition. Remember how I said we should all create a drinking game for any time I thwarp a fan. We can come up with other things, but thwarp a fan, sing something out of nowhere, or work a song lyric into the conversation, take a drink. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drinking my water. It's going to keep me hydrated, because that's the secret. I love when people are like, what's the secret for your beautiful skin? I'm like, hydrate, moisturize, don't have kids. And the tears are small children with any decent Lancome product. Miracle worker. Just saying. Yeah, I know, Mari. It's like you pull up an oar, sister. We're in the same boat. Hello, Monica. Hello, Monica D. Hello, 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 hello. I also think that in my life, over the past few years, Matt Kahn calls it, what does he call it? It's really good. An old friend yard sale. It's just like there's this mass exodus of people from your life as you shift patterning. And it's heartbreaking, but if there are going to be fifth dimensional versions of them on the golden timeline, we haven't talked about the golden timeline in a while, then we'll meet up again. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing, Mari, or Eric's. We're going to rendezvous with the fifth dimensional versions of them, because right now maybe they're not embodying their soul, their unity consciousness. Now, I don't want to make that where, well, the more I do it, the faster we'll get here, because that's not fun. That's fear, right? That's not how I want to roll this. And very much part of our conversation today in terms of discipline versus obedience, keeping with this Saturn, a retrograde, a themey-weemy thing. Cool. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 minutes. Look, I did math until we do our 11-11 wish, and we'll go right into a prayer and all that Jazz. Skidoo. And all that jazz. I don't know if you heard that. Balthazar is terrified of the drag fans. I like dragon fans. Old friend yard sale. Yeah, it needs to be done sometimes. I know wholeheartedly. It's him not listening to spirit. And you know what? Here's the tea. Everybody has a right to ignore their soul. We did. We did. For thousands of years. For thousands of years. We want forgiveness for that. We want compassion for that. We're all one, right? Everybody has their scheduled time of awakening. There's nothing you can do to force somebody to awaken. You can't even force yourself to awaken, which is where we're going to talk about discipline and obedience in a little bit. Work calls, we'll watch later. All right, sweetheart, good. Have a good work day. I love you. I'll keep an eye on the room. And if anybody starts shenanigans and you notice it in the chat, I mean anybody except Julia, obviously she's got to work. Just go shenanigans. Just call them shenanigans and type the person's name, and then I'll just go block them because I ain't got time for that today. I don't have time for that today. I need to take a nap. I was up so very, very early today. I did the daily read, you know, every day now. I think I started Beltane, right, the 5th, May 5th or the 6th, the day after. I feel like there are more shenanigans in the evening. They used to be in the morning, and now they're in the evening, but whatever. I don't care. Well, people have nothing better to do, right? Plus shenanigans is hard to type, so we'll come up with a code word or something. Oh, let's come up with a code word. Let's come up with a secret word, right? We'll think about that. We'll think about what our thing. Oh, Scorpio Queen, good morning, Your Majesty. Switching to the right fan. It's stunning to see you, Your Majesty. Get ready. It's almost 11:11 Eastern. We can all make a wish. We'll all make a wish. Silently, though. Never tell your wish. 11:11. It's all one. I wish we were all one. Duh. We already are. Duh. I know Scorpion Queen, as opposed to that Scorpion King. Dwayne the Rock. Yes, I did smell what he was cooking, and I wanted a second helping. So good looking. I can't wait to see him play Black Adam. Oh, I gotta be black. Sorry. Oh my God, that will never get old for me. Every time RuPaul says it, I just lose it. Get ready. We're seconds away. We are seconds away from 11:11. Kitty cat pounce pose. Milky. Oh, 11:11. Make a wish. Here we go. Someone be down with that. I am so down with that wish. Feels good every time I make it now, according to Abraham Hicks. If you have a desire and it feels good, it's in alignment with your higher self, your inner being, or whatever. Yeah. Hello, D. Good morning, D. I didn't see you say good morning there. So look, that did feel good, right? That when it feels good, right? According to Abraham Hicks, when you have a desire that feels good, it's in alignment with your inner being. Now, maybe not all the wheres, the whens, the whys, the hows, and the whos, but the essential core of it, right? But whatever. Whatever. Depends on which way this camera works. So what's going to be so if Julia's not in the room, if we don't have a moderator in the room, and if any of you want to be moderators, contact me offline and we'll do that. Good morning. Many blessings to all. Hello, Jamie S. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so if any of our regulars want to moderate, we'll talk about it on Facebook. We'll message each other. We'll figure that out because Julia can't be here all the time. That's fine. And she did such a good job last night. I like Abraham Hicks videos, but sometimes I get so lost. Now, here's the funny thing. I can do what Esther does. I just don't do it publicly. I don't want to be taped with somebody like speaking through me. It's weird. Like the other night, right? What did we do that for? What did we do that for? Something we were doing. I don't even remember. Was that for Beltane? I don't remember. It was a dark moon. I know we're headed towards dark moon, but the God spoke through me. It's weird. It's weird to watch. I'm a Leo rising. I have no life. I can't. I can reverse. Well, we'll talk about that another time. Let's do our opening prayer. We got a lot to cover today, particularly with these retrogrades happening day after day. Everybody take a nice deep breath. Oh, yeah. Just turn off the volume, Mark. I'm sorry if any of you were wearing earbuds and just got blasted with my Instagram notification. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths and breathe. Just waiting to inhale. In more ways than one. Let's just relax. Come into the present moment. Not like we can be anywhere else, but the mind certainly can travel. To listen to your own breath. Even if you want, listen to mine. The divine feminine inhale. Divine masculine exhale. The breathing in all we need for the instant. Letting go of everything we don't need for the instant. Breathing ourselves into balance. It's from this place I offer this prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, we surrender this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes. We are here only to be truly helpful. We are here to represent you who sent us, so we don't have to worry about what to say or what to do. Because you who sent us are directing us, and we are content to go wherever you wish, knowing that you go along with us and that we will be healed as you teach us to heal. Oh, please show us today what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom, that we may be the best that we can be, that we may fulfill our roles, our parts in the divine plan, whether we know it or not. Although knowing it's kind of fun, feeling it's kind of fun. And that we may have the best and the most blessed day that we can have. May we be a blessing upon this day, and may this day be a blessing upon us. As we begin to sort through with this Saturn retrograde, certain important lessons that are very poignant for this time that we are in, not just for our own growth, but for the transformation of planet Earth, while it's sitting in the center of the crucible of this planetary global thingy-me-diggy hoo-ha-doo-dah. Making us all introspect. Saturn the Father, retrograde, as we learn how to father ourselves. Great conversation last night. Thank you for that. In the live stream, as well as for this coming Venus and then Jupiter retrograde a day apart. What? Help us, show us. We're willing to do our part. We're willing to review, to revisit, to refeel, to rethink, to reconsider, to reevaluate whatever needs to go down, so that we may rise from these ashes whole, complete, shining, and maybe fully anchored souls in physical bodies, living in fifth dimensional unity consciousness, regardless of what anybody else is doing. That might very well be worth the price of admission. And with your love, power, and wisdom, your guidance, and your grace. Hey, if that's your will, that's what's going to happen. And we are willing. Who knows if we're ready? I guess you do. Who knows if we're able? I guess you do. But we are willing. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So much to be. And so it is. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, 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 hi. Happy, healthy Earth. I know we want a happy, healthy Earth. Yeah, I have what's called the Grace of Prayer. I actually write about it in my book, Words of Grace, from a Professional Witch, which is still free on my website because my web guy still has not gotten back to me to fix it. So rather than have people pay the money that it was listed for and me have to then freak out and send them a version of it, the same version, ebook, I just made it free. Or if you are in the Mark Angelo Lyons Mail for Short Facebook group, you can just get it for free. You just download it. So is Spell Ingredients. For some, I'm terrified that I feel like the MP3s that are on there, recorded meditations, which really, if he doesn't get his act together, I will just pull those off the website and put them on YouTube. We'll see how that goes. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. But let's get down to today's topic, shall we? Today's topic, discipline versus obedience, because they're connected. They're just not the same thing, right? I hated the word discipline growing up because to me it meant punishment, right? Like if you were going to be disciplined, it meant you were going to be punished in some way, shape, or form. I was only spanked once in my life by my dad, hated it so much, held resentment towards him for a very long time, and affected our relationship growing up. My relationship with men, no question. Probably made me a top. It's like, I will not submit. I will not submit. I am not submissive. Even to the gods, they're like, no, kid, we didn't build you that way, right? That's the divine masculine in me. But it doesn't mean that. Discipline does not mean punishment, right? At all. It means discipleship. It's what are you a disciple to or a disciple of? I did a Saturn retrograde reading for myself earlier and got 3 knight cards, but all but the pentacles. So interesting considering the slowdown. It's a lot of mutable energy, right? That's interesting. It's an interesting take on that. But, you know, we are galloping into our new lives, and that's the paradox, right? It looks like nothing's going on. Everything's going on. So a good question to ask yourself, what are you a disciple of? We'll talk about obedience in a bit. That's, like, if I ever get married, the word obey will not be in there. No. In my vows, no, obey you. Obey this. Yahoo mess, obey this. No, I'm not obedient. I'm not. Like, even in the Boy Scouts, part of the Boy Scout oath, right, isn't obedient in one of the creed, the oath, or whatever. Indoctrination of it all. What are you? So what are you a disciple of? I'm a disciple of the Wim Hof method, apparently. It is part of my discipline. I do it every day, several times a day. I love the Wim Hof method. I've been taking ice cold showers every day for months now, even when it was still winter. And it's making me feel, and it feels amazing. It feels incredible. It's very much the Thorgy Thor experience. Sorry for the vocal fry. For reals, yo, Taurus. Obey. Yeah, I'm right there with you. What is yoga? Okay, as of the last month or so. Anyway, what is it that you are a discipline of? I am a disciple of prayer. I love prayer. Prayer is, I'm going to say, my second language. Drag speak is probably my first, but that's not true either. What am I a disciple of? I'm a disciple of love. My disciplines have to do more with my spirituality. I am a disciple to my cats in the sense that they are so very important to me. Their litter gets scooped every day, sometimes twice, depending. They get fed, they get loved, right? So there's something very Saturnian about that in terms of a boundary, a limit, but a commitment, right? So there's a certain amount of commitment there. So we could ask, what are you committed to? And there might be a doorway into looking at discipleship. But the difference is that if we pull the shadow side out of it, right? If we pull that fear of punishment out of it, because if you don't do it, if you don't do your breathing and your yoga, you're going to get a blocked chakra. And then everything on your vision board is going to disappear. All the glue stick is just going to melt, and you're not even going to be able to find the little clippings from the magazines. I really have a little resentment towards vision boards I'm thinking about. I'll have to talk to the kid about that. So what is it that you are committed to, right? Because to me, then we have obedience, spiritual obedience. Like, okay, I can play the rules of the game. Like, I have a driver's license. I drive. I'm a very good driver, actually. I'm a very safe driver. I don't run lights. I can freeze a yellow light like Piper Halliwell. Boy, can I ever. It's really simple. You just create a little time, it's a little time bubble around it. Nobody notices. It's a machine. Except the people that are driving with me, they're like, that's really cool. Never do it again. When I'm in the car, I'm like, okay. And then I do it again. Obedience is not my thing, but spiritual obedience is something that really comes from fear. It really does. It's like, well, I held myself under a spiritual microscope for so long. Now, it's not the fault of Abraham Hicks or Wayne Dyer or any spiritual teacher. It's what the ego does, right? Particularly in terms of manifesting what you want, right? Oh, well, if I'm going to, please, back in the 80s, I was writing hundreds of affirmations every day, or one affirmation 100 times in the morning, 100 times a night. And I have proof. I have the journals upstairs. I literally have them. And I look back at them now, I go, oh, kid. And I look at what I was affirming. I was like, oh, some of them happen, some of them don't, right? So jack of all trades with everyone. That sounds a lot like churches, right? So that thing of spiritual obedience, not necessary. Why would our souls need us to be obedient when no matter what we do, it's the first golden rule, and the universe always has a plan by Matt Kahn, 12 golden rules of letting go. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. This is a divine quantum script. It's all written. Every possibility and probability is written. They're all going to get us to where we're going to go. We don't get to choose which lane we go down, so to speak. So spiritual obedience is out of fear that if we don't do it right, we're going to get what? Punished. That we're going to get more loss rather than gain. Oh, no, not that. Because loss, bad, gain, good, right? Doesn't work that way. By the way, loss of an illness is good, right? So it's wordplay at that point. So if you really want to look at it, obedience is from fear, but then discipleship, discipline, is about love. Now, the world doesn't see it that way. That's certainly not the way it's taught. And yet, it's probably different for divine masculine predominance to divine feminine predominance, right? I think there's probably a big difference there. From the discipline of didn't help my relationship with God, made me resentful, hence why I'm no longer religious. My relationship is better with God now, right? Because God is love. I mean, that's my take on it all. And constantly have bad karma. But sweetheart, I don't believe in bad karma or good karma. That's a very Western version of it. Study the Vedics. Study the Sanskrit. It means action. It's a teaching system. See, now here's the thing. This is what the ego does with spiritual truth. It twists it to use the very spiritual things that are supposed to free us and turns them into things that we beat ourselves with into spiritual obedience, which at this point I think is a waste of time. Karma, Saturn, right? The planet of karma, is a teaching device. It's a teaching device. It takes your actions, and thoughts are considered actions in the karmic texts. TEXTS, not this kind. That what you release returns to you so that you can see it. And like you release it and it comes back bigger, right? The threefold law of return in Wicca. Ever mind the rule of three, what you release returns to thee, whatever that is. Mind the threefold law ye should, 3 times bad, 3 times good. It's infantile. It's childish, but we needed that, right? We needed that. It was true in a way, it just wasn't ultimately the truth, right? So that idea, again, if we're not good, we're going to get bad karma. Oh, come on, God is love. Everything happens. Everything is here to help you. I mean, Matt Kahn must be getting a tingle every time I hold up one of these books on camera. I hope he does. Blessed be. He's so wonderful. Don't know him. Never met him. Just not getting any kickbacks. I don't work for Hay House. I just like to make the disclaimer because I was raised by a lawyer. This isn't product placement. It's me sharing what works for me. No, karma is not that. Everything is here to help you. But it's that child inside of us that is afraid of doing something wrong because what? It won't get what it wants. It will be disciplined, punished. God doesn't punish. Oh, Now, that just goes against how many millennia? Oh my God, how much cultural religio programming? God doesn't punish. Well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? It's like, that's the ego's interpretation. We don't die. The soul is immortal. If you haven't watched Good Omens yet, well, read the book. Watch the series on Amazon, then Amazon Prime, then read the book. Why would a loving father put an apple tree in the center of the garden and tell the first people, his first children incarnate, don't eat that? They don't get a second try, right? No. No. That's why Jesus talked about the prodigal son. The prodigal son was the course correction for Adam and Eve. That the son left of his own accord to explore the world of separation, right? And then wanted back in, but was afraid to come back in. So snuck in, right? Was afraid of being punished. And as the second set foot in his father's kingdom, father knew it. Kill the fatted calf, bring the finest robes, welcome him back in. Unity consciousness. We're on our way back. We're so close. And I feel like what we're going through, yes, I am a witch who can give you Old and New Testament. Because why? Virgo power. Absolutely, man. I've studied this stuff, right? It's not easy. It's so easy to get lost in all of this dogma, right? Oh, my karma ran over my dogma. That what we have the opportunity to do here is really find where we are trapped in this obedience, right? We must obey the laws. Well, I'm okay with obeying the laws of the road, the laws of the land. I'm not look, I'm really not interested in breaking the laws of man. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in doing anything legal. I never really have been. I mean, there are some I don't agree with, but whatever. I mean, even I do my taxes every year. I have them done for me. I don't know how to do taxes. I have a brilliant CPA. But that being said, I have done so much spiritual obedience in this life. Never again. Never again the spiritual obedience time. I'm not going to beg and scrape to my gods. They don't ask me to. They don't ask me to do that. It is my ego, the child inside of me, that is afraid of being punished, of having something taken away, or not getting what it wants. That's why you're doing it. So what does it mean, right? Yes, religion contradicts itself. The prodigal son, great example. Yeah. Well, you know, I know this upsets people, but Jesus wasn't a Christian, nor was his name Jesus. That's the Latinization of the name. His name was Joshua, Yeshua, ben Joseph, Josh, son of Joe. And that's, I don't think, sacrilegious at all. I think he wanted to be known as a man who found enlightenment. And by the way, they don't talk about his travels through Asia, right? All the mystery schools that he studied, like there's decades of his life missing from the tales, right? But you can find them, just not in the original canon. And you know what? I have no gripe against anybody's religion. Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right. It's all right. Some of you might not even know that's a song lyric. That's a song lyric. To me, what's more important is how loving are you, right? That's all he was talking about. Buddha didn't necessarily use the word loving, but he used the word compassionate, which is an expression of love, right? Or can you be a disciple of love? Can you do the discipline of love? Well, what is the discipline of love? Gonna Matt Kanya again. I'm very pro-con. Sorry. It still makes me laugh. It's such a dad joke. Love what arises, both inside and outside. Now, if you can't love what's arising outside of you, then love yourself for not being able to love that, right? The inner child work, right? That's the alchemy. And I think that's like last night we talked about fathering ourselves. A loving father, like what would a loving father do for their child? Do that for yourself. We're all good at mothering ourselves. But do you understand a lot of this spiritual discipline stuff for centuries has been for the divine masculines, not the divine feminines? There's a difference. There's a difference. Divine feminines tend to feel their way through it more than think their way through it. So sacred geometry, the Flower of Life workshop, I took the Flower of Life workshop from Drunvalo Melchizedek. There's a name for you. The son of Mr. and Mrs. Melchizedek, not his given name, I'm sure. I actually studied with a teacher of his, Don Romano, from Queens. She was cool. I liked her. There was a lot of videos and sacred geometry, and oh my God, eye crossing. It's like algebra. No thanks. Pass. Hard pass. Swipe left. Not my thing. But definitely about going with the flow, feeling it. That's why, look, I was raised Catholic. Talk about spiritual obedience, right? And I made it through a bunch of the sacraments. I was baptized. I did confession. I think I only did confession twice, though. So if I ever had to do it again, I'd be like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 10,000 years since my last confession, a little Ziploc door. I did confirmation, and that was the last one I did. As soon as I got confirmed, just to shut my father up, I became pagan. I claimed my witchcraft because I was living with my mom at that point. She was like, I don't care, do what you got to do. Thank God for my mom. She really trusted me to, well, I mean, she let me read tarot cards at age 12. That tells you something about my mom. Algebra, not my thing either. Ow, right? It's like, ow, why did they have to mix the numbers and the letters? That's not fair. Anyway. Yeah. So, you know, spiritual obedience, not so much, but discipline, I'm okay with. Like, being a YouTuber takes discipline. Here's the new discipline for me. Mark, rest. How? I mean, I know sleep, have to sleep, but actually rest. Like, take periods during the day. Not just because I'm getting older, I mean that too, but look what we're going through. Allow the nervous system time to integrate. I posted that meme from Matt Kahn yesterday in the Facebook group. I mean, I don't remember it verbatim, but he's saying, you know, taking time to rest for your nervous system to unwind is the heart of co-creation. That as we do that, more of what you're wanting can come, is invited into your life. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, he's so right on. I mean, I'm sure he has his bad days. I'm sure he loves what rises even when that happens, but that's part of his discipline. He might not use that word, but think of that. What is your discipline? And then you can feel, see, this is what I'm coping with, but what if I don't do it? Then it's spiritual obedience. What if I don't put out as many videos as I should? That my numbers will go down, and now that I'm monetizing, should I do it this way? So now I have an obedience to YouTube. I'd rather be a disciple to the creativity and to the energy that flows through me. Love, fear, soul, ego. Now I have to acknowledge that fear, right? What is the RAW? It's respect, acknowledgement, and welcome. To respect that conditioning, that's really all it is, of spiritual obedience or obedience of any kind, right? Trained since birth, not just this lifetime, how many lifetimes, right? Spiritual obedience in particular, to respect that conditioning is there, to acknowledge it when it's there, and to welcome all of the fear and the feelings. Love what rises. Breathe through it. Give myself the space that I need to process it, the time that I need to process it, and the rest necessary for that to be undone in my energy field. Just how it works. But I also know how dogmatic I can get with scheduling. Time, I said, of the 4 foundations of self-love, breath, space, time, rest. Cicero. Lip shits. Da-da-da. That will always be funny for me. That's only 4. The rest of it is obviously cell block tango. Oh. It's just water. I'm not getting drunk this early in the day. I don't drink that much. So, so here's what I recommend. Look at what your first hour of your day is. Now, it's probably different for a lot of us than it was 2 months ago. What is the first hour of your day about? I can tell you pretty much what I do But even now that I'm doing the daily reads, that has changed. So we're not carving anything in stone here, right? Wow, that just opens my eyes that everything I was taught, conditioned, is fear-based. Makes total sense why I'm so OCD, right? Because it's driven by disobedience and fear, and you better watch out, you better not cry. Like, God is Santa Claus times a million, right? It's crazy. Crazy, but necessary. I mean, I guess to keep us in line for thousands of years. Been a long time pagan now, was Catholic when I was a child. Just person choice. Nice water bottle, thank you. It was a bottle of Chardonnay. At one point, it reincarnated as a Ho'oponopono water bottle. Beat myself up all the time over dumb stuff, and that's what the ego does. Oh, I'm so happy you showed up today too, Jamie. Because here's the freeing part of it. You're in charge of your own disciplines now. Self-discipline. What does that mean? It sounds like, oh, self-discipline. No, that's self-punishment. What is self-discipline? I'm going to choose my discipleship. You can't be a disciple to everything. You just can't. Oh, I'm a disciple to gravity. So is my drag fan, apparently, right? What are you a disciple of? It doesn't have to be one thing. I mean, ultimately, love. I'm a disciple to love. If it ain't loving, I ain't interested, right? But that also means when something rises up inside of me, that's my interior discipline. It's more geared for the divine feminine, to love what rises, to love the self, to go with the intuition, and to know ultimately you can't get it wrong. It is the first golden rule of letting go. You've done nothing wrong. And you've done nothing wrong because it's all a learning curve. That, the card I pulled for today, unhooking the past. Yes, of course I pull these for myself. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learned from my past. Would you like me to read from Ye Old Bookie Book? I think I shall, because it's a good one. Well, they're all good ones. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learned from my past. When you unhook the past, you are able to see crucial moments of growth from fresh perspectives. This allows you to see the mistakes of your past as catalysts for development, not as something you did wrong. It is an opportunity to see how your previous actions could have been better aligned with your highest values. When you learn today the things you didn't know before, you are able to meet your current circumstances with renewed clarity, so the past can be unhooked instead of repeated. There's the foundation of forgiveness right there. You can forgive yourself everything. You've done nothing wrong, right? But it was all part of a learning curve. It was all a highly individualized curriculum for each and every one of us. And a lot of the spiritual practices that we have and have made into these practices of spiritual obedience are for the divine masculines, not the divine feminines. I hate to divide it that way, but it's how it is. If it's not love-based, I'm kind of done with ritual. Now, what do you do for the first hour of every day? That's your daily ritual, your morning ritual. Look for the symbolic presence of it, the meaning that you give to it. Like, for example, what do I do first thing? Hit the alarm. Stop time. Interesting. I do my Wim Hof breathing while still in bed. I do at least 3 rounds. The first one, I'm not so deep at each time, at least 3. And that wakes me up, right? I go to the bathroom. I come down and make sure the cats have food, their water cube. They have this thing I plug in that filters the water for them. And I get ready to do the morning reads. That's new. That's only been for the past week or so, right? So I have to get myself together spiritually. I do my hair. I put what am I wearing for the day? All that stuff. And that's even before coffee, right? I do the morning read. I record it. Then I go back to bed. Then I go back to bed and I sleep until I get up again. In other words, I've learned to bring more self-loving rest into my discipline. It's kind of cool because you know what? Not everybody can do that, right? I'm not an essential worker. I don't have kids. I have cats. I live alone. I don't have to answer to anybody, and I'm a YouTuber. So it's actually bringing me some income as I go. So there's something there about take note of what your daily ritual is in the morning. But if it's out of fear, not love, just look at it and say, well, is there a more loving way I can do this so I can be a disciple to my day rather than in fear if I don't do it right? Better watch out. Better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Because the world needs you to be repressed? No. Love what rises. Love what arises. More people will come. Thank you for reading. Hi, Mark. We are all loved. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You are very, very welcome. My pleasure. Definitely. My pleasure. Definitely. Hey, Milky Face, come here. Come say hello to all the people. To all the people. And now I have to take a drink because I just triggered a song. Come here. I sat through so many community auditions with Chorus Line. Oh, come on up, baby head. Come on up. The people want to see how cute you are because you are adorbs. Come on. Yeah, it's like magic. Who's the sweetie kitties that we adore? It's the Sammy and the Belzy and the Melchior. Where's already? Here's what he's a disciple of. Oh, it's the magic brushiness of the brush. It's the brushy brush. All he loves it is because I love it is the brushy brush. I love my four-legged. Oh, this one loves it. He's like, harder. Brush me, mama. Brush me, mama. I could knit an entire cat out of the amount of cat hair we get in the spring. I just don't know how to knit. Plus, I'd have to spin it first. And I'm sorry, as a witch, I avoid spinning wheels. Just the temptation alone. Putting the kingdom to sleep for 100 years sounds lovely. We'd all get some rest. Right? Talk about shutdown. Briar Rose, what did she know? Pricked her finger on a spindle. That's what happens. Don't prick your finger or finger you prick. Hi, kisses. Kisses. Nope. Nope. I am a disciple to my cats. I love all of my cats are juggernauts in the health department. They get their Purina 1, they get their Temptations, but Melchior needs a 12 pause meeting. We'll have to take him on Zoom for 12 pause meeting. Hey, my name is Melchior and I'm a Temptation Daddy. Chookies, as we call them, because cats never pronounce things accurately, or at least the human way. So this is the brushy of the brush. This is called the brushy brush. He loves it very much. Remember that? Did you see that thing, that cat thing that's a glove? It creeped me out. It was like my boys would eat it and tear it into pieces. Do you want to come up? Do you want to? They're not allowed on the table. And here I am asking him to do it for your entertainment anyway. So we got it. Do we have an idea of the difference between discipline? Because here's the tea. We're going to need it. We're going to need that discipline because tomorrow, Wednesday, May 3rd, Venus goes retrograde. Well, first of all, Mars enters Pisces at 12:11 a.m. Venus goes retrograde, 2:45 a.m. Great. We get to wake up to that. Thursday, the day of Thor, the day of Jupiter. Jupiter goes retrograde, 10:32 a.m. right before we'll do the stream here, if we do the stream here. And then the moon goes into Pisces at 9:24 p.m. Oh, so we've got mostly void, of course, tomorrow through 10:03 a.m. to 9:24 p.m. Jinkies. Yeah, pretty much a Pisces moon weekend, except Sunday it'll go into Aries. Keeping in mind, dark moon is the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Astrological Klusterfuck. Just saying. So maybe this is timely that we're looking at the difference between obedience and discipline. Like, I will obey the laws of the land. I will obey the health guidelines, all of that. I am obeying to the best of my ability the YouTube standards as a content creator in the YouTube partnership program, the community guidelines, to the best that I can, watching my mouth, which is not the easiest thing in the world for me to do, considering F-bombs are part of my first language. But ultimately, hi, Perbox. Ultimately, I'm a disciple to love. I believe in the power of love. I believe. Oh, I Lady Miss cured us. I delighted us. So what am I going to do after we do our meditation and close this puppy up? I'm going to do a little computer stuff, and then I'm going to go take a nap for an hour or two. I'm going to do my prayers, not out of spiritual obedience, but as a way to relax and calm my nervous system. To pray for Farm Boy, because I'm finding that's healing me a little bit more every day, because I will always love him. Even if I never see him again, I will always love him. No, that's not quite a song lyric just yet. But I'm going to do my best today. And I'm going to make those 2 videos at Aquarian and that Piscean twin flame videos, get that up, maybe edit a few more of the meditation videos, because I got tons of them. And by the way, once I'm done with the old content, I'll start making new meditations. So that's why they said, do those first. Get the old stock out of the way so that you've got it done. You won't have to return to it, and you just keep moving forward, right? And ultimately, if I do have some kind of obedience at all, then I am obedient to my gods of love. I am obedient to love myself. That's part of my discipleship. I am a disciple of love, and a disciple of unity consciousness, a disciple of doing the best that I can. And at the end of the day, I love the discipleship of my head hitting that pillow, particularly after doing a stream here at night, and knowing that I did the best that I could, and thanking the gods for the path that I have. Yeah. Everyone take a nice deep breath. Let's meditate for a little bit as a practice, not an obedience. Take a moment. Close your eyes. Get comfortable in a safe position that you can sit in for a few minutes. And breathe. And just allow the discipline of breath to be a disciple of breath. To allow your nervous system to just be what it is. We're not trying to change it. We're just being a disciple of the breath, choosing to focus upon it in a loving manner, for a loving process, practice, protocol, procedure. And to feel the breath enter and exit the body, to trace it as we inhale. Trace it on the exhale. To become aware, to turn inward. The most essential thing we can do for ourselves, which is to breathe. What could be more essential than breath? Life is breath. Breath is life. And to know that we are nurturing every cell, every blood cell. We are oxygenating, and every cell automatically carrying it, every blood cell automatically carrying it to every cell in the body. Feeding ourselves the chi, the prana, the life force, the reiki, the shmeki, the eggs and the bakey. And allowing our bodies to relax. To be disciples of relaxation. That allow our nervous systems to unwind a little bit. To allow the ego to rest in our loving embrace of attention. Attention, which is the merger of giving ourselves space, taking space, and giving ourselves time, taking time. Attention within our own bodies, within our own energy fields, within our own breath, so that we can rest. In that, the four foundations of self-love, breath, space, time, and rest, are integrated in a simple practice of self-care, of self-love, obedience to the higher self, the loving self, the true self, the God self, the Christ self, the Buddha self, the transpersonal self, the inner being, the soul, the spirit. Call it what you will, just call it, and let's call it. Please, higher self. May we breathe you in now. May you bless and fill every cell, that we may be not obedient, but disciples to the light that we truly are, to the love that we truly are, that we may be in alignment, that we may be in alignment with our highest truth and wisdom of the soul, that we may know our alignment by how relaxed we are. And when we're not relaxed, that's okay too, but to breathe, to take space, to take time, and to relax again as we can. Because we can't get it wrong. And if we can't get it wrong, then there's no need for spiritual obedience. When we're disciples of whatever rises, loving that, being kind, disciples of kindness, disciples of compassion, learning from our past with these retrogrades, and moving forward step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment, into the destinies that we have been waiting for our entire lives. Then I am a disciple of my highest destiny, my greatest joy, true love. No matter what that looks like, I can have faith in that. Doesn't mean it's always going to feel good. Doesn't mean it's always going to feel bad. But it does mean I'm going to feel my way through it. I'm going to follow my gut, trust my guidance, trust my grace, as I keep asking for guidance and grace, for my well-being, and for the well-being of all, in fulfillment of the golden timeline of the divine plan, ringing in my ear. So mote it be. And so it is. And as you are ready, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and make your way back into the room. Scorpion Queen. What I miss? Ooh, you might want to watch this one back, honey. We cover a lot of ground here on Drawing the Circle Productions YouTube channel, because remember, I am your reader, your meditator, your spiritual instructor, your spiritual teacher, whatever you want to call me, your brother, your friend, Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, drag fan enthusiast, and Dragtastic Park, weaver of song lyrics into conversations. And I'm okay with that. I love you all so much. I really, really do. I've got a nap scheduled that I have to get to that nap so that I can be the best that I can be and fulfill my role in the divine plan by allowing my nervous system to release and unwind, to allow my destiny to unfold for the well-being of all. And so it is. Check out the stuff today. And by the way, if you have not hit the notification bell for my channel, you might want to, because I'm becoming more and more unpinned from time as I'm giving time to myself. So you never know when a video is going to hit, although I'm trying to do it like 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, depending on how much I put out. Cool. I love you all so very much. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the day. And if you did not get a chance to super chat me and you would like to, you still can. I think you can still do it for a little while after I leave the stream. If not, my Venmo and my PayPal links are in the description box below. Please do use them. Every little bit helps. Even $1 to make me holla. I love you all so very, very, very much. Have a really great day, and I'll probably see you tonight. If I get my naps in, if I take my rest, I should be able to keep doing these morning and night streams because I love them so much. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Happy dreams to you too. Happy napping. Napping, happy. Hail, farewell, and blessed be. Ciao bella.